Okay, so I have a little card here. It has all the videos that I do, that I've been doing. A lot of these have been done. Avatar's done. Where the Wild Things Are isn't done. Reservoir Dogs, that's done. The Best of the Year is almost done. Favourite Films of the Year, all of that, that's almost done. But there's a couple on here that haven't been done yet, and I'm going to start doing them. And today I'm going to be talking about a film. It was in limited release in America. I know that, and I also know that it's not even out here yet. But I was able to get a sneak peek of the movie called World's Greatest Dad. I will not say how, and let's just say this, if people from the law found out how I saw this film, then we might be in trouble. So, World's Greatest Dad stars Robin Williams, and it has the kid out of Spy Kids. I haven't seen that kid since Spy Kids. I've seen the girl from Spy Kids. I've seen most of the cast and filmmakers from Spy Kids make other movies. This is the first film I've seen him do in 6 years, maybe. Yeah, you do. You have seen Spy Kids, and you do know the ginger kid. The ginger annoying kid who couldn't do detective that well. You know that kid, yeah? Yeah, you know that kid. And it's basically about this struggling family. Robin Williams is the dad. He's the title role of World's Greatest Dad, but he's not really. Well, he is the world's greatest dad. You can't think about it. And he has this very annoying, very self-centered, brutish jerk of a kid named Larry, I think. And Robin Williams' character has to struggle with an accident that happens, basically, because if I say what this accident is, it spoils the whole movie. And what happens is there's an accident, and then his life is turned upside down, and his work life is affected, his relationships are affected. He's basically affected by this emotionally and very deeply. And what ensues is extremely dark comedy, which is extremely emotional. It's probably one of the most emotional rides I've gone on all year, and it was actually quite a shock because I was more expecting a dark comedy but without that emotional side, and to have that emotional side on it works really well for the film. Now let's just go on to the performances. The performances in this film, World's Greatest Dad, Robin Williams is fantastic as the World's Greatest Dad. He is so good, so believable and convincing. He's just brings out, because I remember Robin Williams when I was growing up. Yes, I know he's been in Good Will Hunting, he has been in films like Awakening, and he's been in other types of films, but he's always been a comedian, and I think that's the thing that makes this film kind of work, is that it still has that zany side to Robin Williams, because there's a scene in the film where he's laughing at something that he shouldn't, and that's just typical Robin Williams. You know, if you've seen him on stage, or you've seen him on YouTube on stage, or you've seen some of the others' films, he's a wacky kind of guy. He's really zany, but then it hits you with emotionality, a really soaking, engrossing, emotional, human side to the film, which you'll never find in any other type of film this year, I think. And you know, there's many scenes. There's a very weird scene where he's walking down a corridor and then he's reminded of this accident, and that's just so emotional. I can't say what it exactly is because it spoils the entire film for you, so I won't. But then there's the funny side to it. The film is very funny for the most part. You've the beginning to it with his jerk of a son and all the things they get up to, but then there's just this hint that through this comedy there's emotionality, and when they're trying to be funny with the film, there's just a part where his son is being such a jerk that you laugh, but you're sort of crying at the same time. It's really weird. You hate the kid, but then you feel for the kid, and then you feel for the dad, which is it's really hard to do, but they do it so well. The comedy's really fast, it's really quick, it's very funny for the most part. The script's just great, and yeah, it has an emotional side and a very funny side. My only problem with the film is sort of the second half. The second half of the film, while it's still really good, and it still has very emotional scenes and all that, it just sort of loses that touch. It goes down sort of a very typical route of someone trying to take advantage of this horrible situation that happens. And I don't think that the script that scenes can work into the dark atmosphere of the accident. I just don't think it works in parts. But even though saying that, this is a terrifically acted, extremely emotional, very, very darkly funny film, which I really enjoyed. Terrific performances all around. I give it an 8.5. I think it's one of the most underrated films of the year by far, not getting enough credit. It's not even out here in Britain yet, so I was just very, very lucky to see it. 8.5, I thoroughly enjoyed this film. Bye-bye.
Don't be afraid, it's all